Okay, so the refrigerator is clean. I can clearly see what I have in here to work with. Some of you might think this is bare. I think this is still very full. Um, yeah, so, I mean, the thing we're going to run out of the soonest is the milk, but I mean, the kids can go without milk for a few days, let's be honest. Okay, so I can see here, we had some breakfast tacos, end of last week. Today's Monday. So these are peppers and onions and some tomatoes. Then we got some shredded cheese in here. So tomorrow my husband's going to have an omelet for breakfast and utilize all these things. So yeah, up here it's like a tiny bit of strawberry jam, some sour cream, coffee creamers, some soy milk, half and half. On this shelf I have extra sour cream, so I do not have to buy more. Now if this refrigerator were jam-packed, this could very easily get lost and I would end up buying more sour cream. So I have quite a bit of butter, a little bitty, couple tablespoons of butter, some cream cheese spread, a big block of cheese. All right, and then I have deli meat, quite a bit of sliced cheese. I tend to, if my refrigerator is full, I tend to overbuy cheese. For whatever reason, like I don't see it and I'll just buy it. So there's that. And then, I have plenty of butter spread, butter. Then I have a little bit of French onion dip. I think I'm going to use this week. In a pork chop recipe. My husband's cottage cheese. I have some bacon in here. One lone little pudding. And then I have quite a bit of produce in here. So this is where you can get in trouble with food waste. And if we don't eat this down, that's going to happen to us. So we have 2 heads of leaf lettuce. Got to get people on putting this on their sandwiches instead of just leaving it here in the fridge. I have this. I can eat that down with a salad. I have a couple green apples. I use these in baking, so I used most of them in an apple crisp. So I've got 4 here. I can probably make some apple muffins. Got a cucumber. Use that in a salad. Chop this up for them to eat. Sandwiches. I have a little head of iceberg lettuce over here. That can be chopped up for a salad as well. Add some crunch there. Salad material. We have apples in here to be eaten. And I have some asparagus. This is actually getting eaten tonight. Now, let me show you some things I found in here. Okay, so, don't mind that. That's just this is our little compost bowl. So that's going to go outside. Anyway, so there are these grapes. My family tends to, when the grapes get like this, they tend to just sit there and nobody finishes them off. So I'm going to pluck these off the stems, get them loose in a bowl, and they will eat them. They will probably eat them as soon as I get home from school. So that will get taken care of. It'll be an after school snack. And then this, I don't know why this happened this way, but this is leftover chili. So we have a little bit right in here, and we have some right in here. So I'm going to combine these and stick them in here. I got this little doohickey at Walmart. It is amazing. This is a silicone dish. These are 1 cups, like each one of these. So there's 4 cups right here. So I can take the chili, put it into these little containers here, and oh, that's a cup of chili. I can pop these out and stick them in a freezer bag in these big, I guess they'll turn into rectangles. And like I said, this is a whole serving of chili in this little rectangle. Put it in a bowl, you heat it up, and you're good to go. No food waste. Okay, there you go. 2 lunches salvaged. Look at this guy in the freezer, and I'll be able to pop these out probably tomorrow or the next day and stick them in a freezer bag. Okay, I will show you, we did have a little bit of waste. We have these olives. I don't know how long they've been in the refrigerator, honestly. I mean, olives can last a long time, but I'm just not going to risk it. We're just going to get rid of that. And then this tiny bit of marshmallow fluff. I don't even know why it's in the refrigerator, but there's just a tiny little bit in there, so I'm going to toss that as well. So sad, but yeah, a little bit of waste. All right, we've got a couple grapes. Well, more than a couple. We've got some grapes heading to the compost bowl. But right here we have about 2, maybe 3 servings of grapes. So, you know, that's an afternoon snack for 3 of the 4 kids. Okay, in the fridge where they will be seen immediately, and I will, let them know grapes have to be eaten before the apples. So there we go. Hey guys, so my bangs are a little bit crazy. I am going to kind of take you along with me this week and show you the meals that I'm going to be making out of our refrigerator that you saw just a little bit earlier. Last night I was going to use the asparagus in a meal and I didn't. I actually didn't. I've been sick and I ended up not, by the end of the night, I ended up kind of running out of steam. So everybody kind of did a fend for yourself night. So a lot of sandwiches were had. Anyway, feeling a little bit better today. So, but just in case, once again, I'm kind of run down by the evening, I am putting together a split pea soup. I'm going to put it in the crock pot. So hopefully by the evening it is done. And then I'm going to make some cornbread, but I will show you everything that will be going into the recipe so you can see how I am using all the items in the refrigerator to reduce food waste. Okay, so one thing I forgot. You saw in my refrigerator that I have no milk in there. I have a little bit of soy milk, I have half and half, what have you. So I'm using milk from my freezer. When you have milk in your refrigerator, getting close to date, or you find milk on clearance, hold on, I gotta turn this down. Christine, let's pause it. Okay, so when you find milk on clearance, what have you, I bring it home and I freeze it. I don't freeze the entire jug or carton or what have you. I break it down into 1 cup portions and freeze it that way so I can just go in, grab the little chunk, and I know it's a cup. So I'm using this in my cornbread, and I'll be using some more frozen milk this weekend when I make 3 different birthday cakes. I don't use it in things like the frosting, anything like that, just like the baked good itself. Okay, so first the soup. Now, not many items from the refrigerator are used here, which is kind of nice. This is really kind of a nice pantry meal if you are cooking from your pantry. So I have split peas here. I already rinsed them. I almost doubled the recipe for this. I'll put the recipe in the description. So if you're interested, you can get that. So the bacon, I'm going to cook up half of this bacon. This is one of my only refrigerator items here. So this and the garlic. But I'm going to cook up half of the bacon because it's like a topping for this soup. This soup doesn't have like when you think of split pea soup, I think of like, a ham bone with some ham chunks. This doesn't have that. So it's topped with bacon. So I'm going to have to use these 2 onions, a container of chicken broth. It also calls for water. I do make chicken broth whenever I have a whole chicken, but we cook with broth a lot. So this is always, always, always in my pantry, chicken broth. Chicken broth can make everything better. I use chicken broth whenever I make like mashed potatoes, anything like that. It just adds a little bit of extra flavor and makes, cooking at home a little bit more fun, I guess. Okay, so we minced garlic. Calls for paprika. Yeah, I'm using smoked. And then it calls for lemon juice. I don't have a lemon, so I am substituting apple cider vinegar and just using half of what the recipe calls for. Then the recipe, of course, calls for like salt and pepper to taste. So this is what's going to be going in the crock pot. Okay, so here's the refrigerator after yesterday. So you can see kids went through the milk, so some of them had cereal for dinner. Anyhow, so out of here, we will be using some of the veggies. I'm going to be chopping up this partial head of iceberg lettuce. We'll be using the tomatoes because we're going to have a salad on the side with the soup. All of the spring mix will get used. I'll chop up the cucumber. Some of that will get used, and some of this I'll set as an after-school snack for the kids. They can dip that in some ranch. This leaf lettuce, I will use some of it to supplement the salad. There are 6 of us that will be eating. The rest of it, I'm going to go ahead and take it apart and put it in a container, kind of like I did the grapes. They ate some of the grapes, but not all of them. So that it is easy for, it's primarily my husband, so that he will actually grab this and put it on his lunch sandwiches. The other thing I'll be using out of here are a couple eggs, because I'm going to make some cornbread, and a little butter. And always on my counter, I have cornmeal and flour. You can also see I always have lentils. We go through lentils in this house. We use lentils all the time. But anyway, always on the counter, lentils, cornbread, rice, flour. Cornbread is done. Cornbread is absolutely one of my favorite things, so really happy that I made this. One of my daughters is really obsessed with cornbread too, so looking forward to that. Okay, so here's the refrigerator today. I do have the leaf lettuce chopped. I've got a couple of them chopped for salad. I did leave a couple just as leaves. My husband, he has a little bit of deli meat left, so he can add that to sandwiches. I chopped that cucumber. So tonight we are going to have salad. So I have the cucumber chopped. We'll use that in salad. What's remaining can be used as snacks. My husband can take it in his lunch, what have you. I still have this lettuce here, so we're going to use that all up. People have been munching the tomatoes. Toss those in there. Somebody can have those. I don't have to worry about school lunches for my kids. Right now, they do get free lunches. I believe next year that will be changing, so we will have to adjust to that, but not right now. I pulled these out of the freezer. I was taking these in my lunch to work, but they need to get eaten. So we'll have the chicken on there. We'll shred up some of the cheese, and that'll be dinner tonight. Okay, so tonight I am using the asparagus from the refrigerator. I've got frozen shrimp scampi from my freezer, and then in the oven currently I have some potatoes roasting. I'm going to throw the asparagus in there, and then after about 15 minutes, probably 10 minutes, I'm going to throw in the shrimp scampi in the skillet, and then that'll be dinner. Okay, so I'm going to go grocery shopping today. I'll show you guys the refrigerator here in a minute. But before I go, I am going to eat some lunch. So I'm eating up the very last of our salad stuff. There was a little bit of those chicken pieces left from last night. This is the very last of the ranch dressing in our refrigerator, and I'm eating a piece of leftover cornbread. Okay, here is the refrigerator as I am getting ready to head out and go shopping. We pretty much did it. We ate down basically everything. There's just a tiny bit of soy milk left. I mean, I don't need any half and half, but yeah, there's that. That's the important thing down here. The produce is gone, except for those apples, and that's fine. Green apples last forever. The other leftover item we still have is some cornbread. Also fine. That can get eaten as, a side with basically any lunch. So, all right, let's get on this grocery shopping. These are opal apples, 99 cents per bag. I grabbed 3 of those. Okay, so I've started the grocery shopping. I just left Gerb's, which is our Kroger store here. Inside, I grabbed a couple sale items, and I found, a couple markdowns. So I am now going to head to Aldi, and what I can't get at Aldi, I'm going to grab at Walmart. Okay, so we have made it to Aldi. I have my list out, and we're going to head in and get most of the items on my list here. And what I can't get here, we're going to pick up over at Walmart. Okay, Aldi shopping is done. It was pretty busy in there, so I didn't record too much. Now I'm gonna head across the street to Walmart and finish up my grocery shopping. I don't know if I'm gonna be recording in there or not. So it is kind of busy out, so we shall see. Either way, I'll show you everything when we get home. Okay guys, so I am back home. I've got all of the groceries behind me. I ended up spending, like, rounding $208 on all of this food back here. So it was quite a bit, but I do have a lot of things that are going to roll over to next week and possibly the week after. So it's not that bad. Next week I'll have to buy hardly anything, and then, you know, who knows about the week after. But anyway, let's go ahead and flip you around and show you all of the stuff. So this is from 3 different stores right here. This was from our Kroger store. Kind of up the middle here is Walmart, and then over here on the side is Aldi. So I'll start over here at Gerb's. These items I picked up for $26. Not that bad considering I got two 2-pound blocks of cheese. Those were on sale this week. I got those 3 bags of the Opal apples, 99 cents each. And then there's, these are on sale as well. So I grabbed a package of these for my girls. These were on sale as well. Yeah, my husband really likes the whips, so I grabbed those. And then that milk was marked down to $1.50. Don't know where the sticker went, but yeah, that's what I ended up getting for $26. Like I said, I don't think it's that bad considering yogurt right now is not really cheap anymore, and certainly those 2-pound blocks of cheese, not cheap. Okay, so let's move on to Walmart. I have probably the greatest variety of items at Walmart. I will say this grocery haul includes stuff for birthdays. I have 3 birthday cakes I have to make this weekend. I had to pick up some stuff for one of them. The others, I have pretty much everything. Anyway, so Walmart is where I spent, rounding up, $99 right here. So I have some mushrooms, a lime, 2 lemons, bananas. I got these petite diced tomatoes. These are Italian style. I don't need these right now. Those are just to kind of keep my pantry going. And this is the cheapest can of tomatoes to buy. It's the big one. It is... So if you break it down, like there are 2 regular sized cans of tomatoes in here, and this ends up being cheaper than buying 2 of those at Aldi. So I always get those there. I got a 2-pound bag of baby carrots, some honey pecan cream cheese spread. I got these Oreos. These are for my little guy's birthday cake. He wants dirt and worms, so I had to pick up some stuff for that. Ranch. This is also adding to our cost. Repurchasing the ranch, and then I have all these Parmesan cheese, French onion dip, whipped topping, that's for his cake. My husband's Daisy cottage cheese, this little thing of garlic bread. My girls really like these, so I pick up these drink packs. I keep this in the car with me, so I got one of those. Did I say bananas? 2 loaves of the bimbo bread. You can go to Aldi and get this cheaper, and there is cheaper bread at Walmart. This is $1.98. It's what my husband and kids have decided they like. I picked up these sodas. These were only $1 each. It's for the birthday. Gummy worms for the dirt and worms cake. A box of ramen. 2 containers of ice cream. And then little gold nuggets right there. So over here we have Aldi. I'm just going to go ahead and start on the back side of the table. I have 2 gallons of milk, 2 packs of the 3-count peppers, onions, spinach, 2 boxes of tacos. I have 2 packages of English muffins, some little moo tubes. My little guy can't handle chunks, so he always gets the little tubes. These little crackers for my husband's cottage cheese. I needed some more white vinegar, so I got that. I have 3 bags of tortilla chips. These are for Sunday, for the birthday. I'm going to have like a crock pot of Rotel. I have some Velveeta left from football season, so I'm going to have that. Okay, coming around, I picked up those, some little cherry tomatoes, 2 containers of strawberries, a bag of apples, romaine hearts, brown sugar. I have lots of dark for baking, but we use light for oatmeal, and we are out of that. Okay, I got some wavy potato chips for having deli meat sandwiches, hiding down there. I got some turkey. Some more cream cheese spread, chive and onion. That's one of my daughter's favorites, so I have that. A regular little block of cream cheese, some French fried onions, smoked Gouda. These are for my pantry that I don't need necessarily right away. I got a few packages of brown gravy mix, some bagels, zucchini, avocados. These were only, I think they were like $2.49 or so for the bag, maybe $2.79. Either way, really good price. I got some yellow potatoes. Did I say this? 2 packages of Colby Jack cheese. And then some coleslaw. And then I got, this is my husband's favorite chocolate, so I got him a little bit of that. These are like, if you've never bought it, it's really good. And these are like little individual squares, so you can just dump out however many you want. I'm sure he'll take that to lunch with him all week long. But yeah, $208 right here on this table. Okay, so I thought I'd show you the menu plan for the week here very quickly. You can see I didn't write anything down last week, but you know, we were just working on cleaning out that fridge and it worked out. So Friday, which is today, we are going to be going out for one of my daughter's birthdays. Just myself, my husband, and she will be going. The others are going to go stay the night with their grandparents. Saturday, we are going to have some frozen chicken strips and fries. And then Sunday, that's the day of their birthday party, and we're going to have like rotel and cake and ice cream, all these things. So dinner time is just gonna be fend for yourself. So just kind of, we have, you know, stuff for sandwiches, we have stuff for salad, we have cans of ravioli, ramen, whatever. So that'll be that. And then we go back into regular food starting Monday. So Monday we're going to have tilapia, zucchini, and potatoes. Tuesday is tacos. Wednesday we're going to have a lemon chicken pasta. And then Thursday we're going to have salmon, potatoes, and salad. Friday is going to be chickpeas and rice. And that's actually, that sounds a lot more plain than it is. It's actually very, very good. It has like sun-dried tomatoes and all sorts of things in it. So there's that. Saturday, I don't have anything planned. I have to wait and see if there's anything left from all of this stuff. If not, you know, I have plenty to improvise with. So I made that menu plan and realized I need to change this because I did not account for taking my son out for his birthday on the 12th. So that changes our menu plan a little bit. Also, I was like, you bought those mushrooms. Why did you not put stuffed mushrooms on there? So this is where we're at. Sunday is still fend for yourself. Monday, we're going to do stuffed mushrooms. Tuesday is tacos. Wednesday, I'm going to have the kids cook spaghetti for themselves while they are here. My kids are not little anymore. Yeah, they're high school, middle school. They'll be fine. They can do that on their own. I'm going to stick with salmon, potatoes, and salad right here. No. I gotta eat that zucchini. So we'll do the zucchini here. And then we'll have salad here with the lemon chicken pasta. So, for real this time, that's the menu plan.